we're seeing a very strong sell-off candle. At first glance, that obviously doesn't look good at all. We dropped from $71,000, where we were just yesterday, down to $68,200, so a drop of nearly $3,000 in a very short time. And as you know, a sell-off candle this strong usually doesn't come alone. The question now, of course, is will we see a rollover today on Sunday, or will we consolidate sideways for now? And if that happens, in which direction will we break out then? Because as most of you know, the market gets very volatile on Sunday evenings. On that note, friends, I'd say let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. And with that, hello and a warm welcome to a new video here on my channel. It's me, Max, and today I'm going to give you a cryptocurrency update video. Yeah, unfortunately, not a pleasant topic today, my dear friends. We've seen falling prices, but just before we start, go right below the video and give it a thumbs up. I'm looking at yesterday's video where we almost hit 500 likes. And also, feel free to go to the comment section and just write, "Thanks Max," or "Great analysis," or even just "Algo push." Yeah, just drop a comment. I'd really appreciate that. With the first link in the video description, friends, there's currently a bonus of up to $5,000 on LEVEX. So feel free to check that out too. I'd say, friends, what happened? Well, first of all, of course, don't freak out, zoom out. So yeah, if we look at this from a 4-hour time frame perspective, it already looks a bit better. Just a quick heads up, friends, I've made myself a very nice coffee again today. I'm currently at the Four Seasons Hotel in Malaysia, and they really have an excellent coffee machine. So I'd say, friends, grab a coffee first, and then, as I said, let's go through the markets together and see what's going on. First of all, friends, don't freak out, zoom out. Yeah, we've seen a sharp drop. Yeah, we've taken quite a tumble here. 75, yeah, we fell all the way down to 68.2 for my page, of course. A few days ago, I opened a trade exactly at this level. Well, not exactly there, yeah, but rather, I think somewhere around here where the market initially went up. This is the trade that's currently hanging a bit in the red, but friends, that's still not a problem. Overall, we're in massive profit. This trade will surely move into profit as well. Otherwise, I'll naturally hedge this trade sufficiently and definitely close it profitably. So I won't let myself get stopped out on a long at 75 or even better at 60. I'm not going to do that. Before I forget, friends, every morning at 8 o'clock I post a market update here on LEVEX. If you just comment on that, you have the chance to win 100 USDT. You have to be registered through my link for that. In the first link in the video description, friends, so completely free of charge, just comment on the market update, give it a thumbs up, and then you're qualified for 100 USDT. I'll show the winner of the last giveaway right here. The question everyone is asking now, of course, is whether the market will finally continue to go up. And many will naturally say, Max, you're of the opinion that the market is going up. And yes, friends, I share that opinion, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to change my mind like a flag in the wind. Of course, if the market gives me signals now that the downward breakout, and to be fair, the main forecast isn't that the market goes up, the main forecast is that we'll break down completely. That has been the main forecast from the very beginning. That will go up is, of course, the secondary forecast. If, of course, visible indicators appear for me now that say, hey Max, watch out, this is certainly not going up, then I'm not going to bet the farm that the market will go up no matter what, just to be right. No, I won't do that. Instead, I'll naturally always trade the scenario that is most likely. I'm a trader. I don't care at all which direction the market goes now, whether it goes up or down. Yes, I'll always trade what's most profitable for me, yeah, and what is most likely accordingly. And basically, it's most likely that the market will go down, but in the long term. In the short term, as I said, I'm expecting more of a jump upwards. That also explains, of course, why I don't already have 10 short positions open here, but why I have a lot of longs instead. I have short positions too, of course, but only set as limit orders here for Bitcoin. For those interested, these are my entry prices for my short positions here on Bitcoin. That means basically I see this as a really nice test of the support. If I just pull this away, we can see how we've tested this support beautifully 1, 2, 3 times. And for me, that's a wonderful level from which the market can bounce. Yeah, and now some people might be asking, yeah, but the market is going down right now. Yes, the market is going down, but it doesn't matter at all if the market is going down right now. Why? Because that's good for us. If we assume the market makes an upward move, and above all, what am I expecting? Am I expecting a normal upward move? No, I'm not expecting a normal upward move. Personally, I'm expecting something like this. I'm expecting a very strong pump. That's what I'm expecting. I expect the market to really, these are 12-hour candles, 4, 5, 6 12-hour candles to just push it up like that. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, that the market just screws its way straight up. That's the scenario I'm expecting, just to position myself clearly there. That means I'm expecting a strong pump. Yes, but before a strong pump can enter the market, or usually does, it's extremely likely that the following happens. That beforehand, and you have to get into the anti-retail mindset a bit, you just have to expect the market to dip down first, where everyone then thinks it's going down and everyone is suddenly convinced of a short, and at that moment, it pulls the market up. That's the procedure on the markets, friends. It's very, very nasty and very, very antisocial, but that's just how it is. But it's not hard, and above all, it's not hard to understand. That means once you've understood this procedure of how the markets run, well then, congratulations, then you can trade incredibly profitably at any time. So here too, the whole thing looks to me more like the market is currently preparing to move further upwards. Of course, it's still possible that we'll dip further down. I'm now going to give you my personal price forecast very clearly. What's happening? A very quick look at Ethereum before that. Ethereum also coincidentally tested this level down here perfectly, yes, and will probably break out upwards soon. The fear and greed index is slowly moving back towards 4. Yes, we've recovered a bit there, it's slowly heading back towards 4, but that shouldn't be so important. Friends, another point in favor is that the CME gap down here is closed, by the way. We still have an open CME gap at $74,000. That's a price range where I'd say it's quite likely that we'll head towards it. Let's move on to my personal price forecast now. So let's take a look at the scenario for Bitcoin. Up here, we dropped out of the head and shoulders, which I showed you in my free Telegram community. And now, of course, the question of the day is, what will happen here? What we're seeing here right now, friends, is basically just a consolidation phase. If I just remove the head and shoulders now, we can see much more clearly that there was also a consolidation phase up here. This means a consolidation phase is a sideways phase, regardless of whether it goes sideways up or sideways down. And after a consolidation phase, there's usually a very, very strong movement. And we can see that beautifully here. Consolidation upwards, strong movement downwards, and an upward consolidation is always bearish. As a rule, 80% of the time, something that consolidates upwards breaks out downwards. And now we have a downward consolidation here. That means it breaks out upwards 80% of the time. Yes, and if I look at this from a 4-hour time perspective, I see a resistance here. That's the most important thing in the end. We can identify the support in a moment, but this resistance here, as soon as it's broken, friends, is an absolutely massive long signal. Yes, and we're currently forming the pattern. I'm not a chart pattern trader, just to clarify that beforehand. We're forming the pattern of a falling wedge here. It's not really a bull flag, because a bull flag has to come from below. It also doesn't matter at all what kind of chart pattern it is. It's about the market behavior behind it. Yes, even if I say here that it looks like a triangle, fine, yes. Or it looks like a head and shoulders, it just looks like that in the end. It reflects a certain market dynamic that lies behind it. And you have to understand that, not just, oh, I see a triangle and go long or short because of it, but you have to understand the market dynamics behind it. Why does it look like a triangle and why does it eventually break out? Yes. Now, if I go into the 1-hour time frame, I see that we're really respecting this very, very well. Of course, you can always draw it a bit differently variably. I could also draw it like this here, for example. Yes, in any case, we have a bullish sequence of a downward consolidation here, which would of course be the worst case if the market breaks out downwards, but even then I wouldn't let that scare me. That's just what the market does to scare us. I will continue, yes, and I can also give you a price target until we break the last low here at around $65,000. So if we leave the $65,000 downwards, then I'll say, okay, from now on the downward movement goes down to 48. But as long as we're at 69 and in an intact uptrend, there's no reason for me to claim anything else. And I believe now that the market will likely continue to consolidate here. Maybe one final dip down here to around 67. That could happen, yes, but then we'll very likely see the breakout to the upside. And on the breakout upwards, we'll most likely test $76,000. We will most likely even go above $76,000. We'll most likely go to the 200 EMA on the 12-hour time frame, which is exactly at $78,000, $79,000. That is my personal price prediction. And please, friends, remember to do your own research. Yes, it's my price prediction. I'm long. Anyone who signed up on LEVEX via my link can transparently view all my trades at any time. Everyone who signs up at LEVEX via my link gets my exclusive trading signals, so they're notified early when I enter and exit, plus the bonus of the lowest trading fees with just email and password, no KYC. But that's not what this is about right now. But you can see live what I'm trading. So I don't say, yeah, the market's going short, and then trade something completely different and always say at the end, yeah, I was always right. No, I can be wrong sometimes. I've been wrong before. Yes, usually I'm right, of course. But it must be clearly stated that the way I've positioned myself here, I'm mostly long, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that I estimate the probability to be quite high that we'll get the next strong upward momentum, because what you mustn't forget, the very first price target is first of all the red neckline here. Yes, that means filling this wick here, and we will certainly fill it. But that doesn't mean that I'm only looking at that now, for example. We will certainly also make a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Does that mean I just go long in every conceivable situation? No, I have to adapt to market dynamics and do what the market is giving me right now. And I say the probability is highest or higher here that we go to 79 than that we go to 60. We're perfectly in the middle here, if you look at it that way, right? We're roughly in the middle. Down and up are each about $10,000. From 69 down is $9,000 to the 60 low. $9,000 up is $79,000 up here. That means we're exactly in the middle, right? And if I have to commit now, I'd say it's more likely that we pump upwards because the market looks very bearish. And I mean, it doesn't even look bearish in the end, but the probability is just significantly higher that the market breaks out upwards in my view. Besides, we currently still have a very, very strong support here that we've continued to test. So from here, where all the movements happened, that's very, very important. What would be the killer scenario for me too, where I'd say I'd reconsider this whole thing a bit differently, would be this support level down here. Yes, so if we break through down here, not if we test the level down here. I'd say that's fine, then let the market test it. But I don't want to see us break through it sustainably with several 4-hour closes. That means if we really leave this level behind on a 4-hour basis, then you have to expect the crash. Then it will probably really crash through here as well, and then come back, retest, and then of course you can safely build a very good short position here, right? But we don't even want to think about that yet. Yeah, that's still a bit far off, and we're currently sitting in support. It's bothering me a bit here, but we know that there's definitely support there. And let the market be until tonight, until Monday evening. It doesn't matter. Just let it consolidate here for a bit. That's not a problem at all. Let the market continue to go down. Let the market take a dip downwards too. Personally, if I were trading long right now, I wouldn't place my stop loss down here. So I wouldn't set my stop loss below this level. You really have to allow for some room below. As much as I hate to say it, you need that space. Yeah, because it's quite likely the market will flush everything out once more before we see that massive pump upwards. That's my scenario. So I'm saying, first, all the longs should be knocked out of the market, and that always happens before a strong long move. I mean, look at this. The market is being suggested to go long here. The market is also going strongly long, but of course many people jump on the long bandwagon, and then all those people are completely torn apart by the downward movement. Then the market consolidates down here. Yeah, people think it's going short, and then the market just shoots further up. Yeah. Here too, we saw the counter movement to the long move, but then of course a strong upward movement. Time and again, the market wants to go up. Yeah, consolidates at the end of the day, and then it breaks downwards, where most people say, hey, it's actually supposed to go up now. That means you always have to get a bit of an anti-retail mindset in the market. And with that anti-retail mindset, it's not difficult anymore. Yeah, that means a possible consolidation here, then a textbook breakout to the upside. I'm saying in terms of probability, it's not at all unlikely that the market breaks downwards and then just comes back up with very strong pumps. That means, of course, for spot orders or trade orders, you could probably buy in perfectly right here. Yeah, just so you keep that in mind. I'd say a slightly longer episode today. On Sunday, yeah, I'd always planned to do a bit of a deep dive into all these things anyway. Ethereum too, as I said, a similar scenario. Let it dip a bit more here before the pump to the upside comes. Please don't forget, even if it's hard to believe, friends, that something like this can even happen. With Bitcoin, we don't always just see upward movements that look like this, but we also sometimes see phases that really just go up aggressively for days. Here too, boom, aggressively up for days, but that's not even all of it. Yeah, we also just see 12-hour candles, and that happens regularly, and it's nothing special that it goes from here, like back then, $92,000 to the candle wick at $96,000, and that's in a 12-hour candle. It might even have been a 4-hour candle, if I remember correctly. Yeah, were those, no, they were 3 4-hour candles, but, you know, always remember, friends, it can be any moment that 3 or 4 4-hour candles just build on each other, bringing the market up by $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Then we'd be at $74,000, $75,000 right now, and then the whole market dynamic would look different. Friends, please don't forget, exclusive trade signals are available for free via the first link in the video description. Yes, you can use that to sign up on LEVEX. It's important that when you click the first link in the video description, it's the one at the very top. Just scroll down and then here, levex.com/r/Max Steinauer. Just click on this link. There you can secure a bonus of up to $5,000. The whole thing really works. That means to get the $5,000 bonus, you need a $100,000 deposit. Now, some of you might say, hey, I don't even have $100,000. No problem. Even if you deposit $1,000, for example, you already get a bonus of $200. Yes, that means the more you deposit, the more bonus you receive. This bonus and also this bonus, yes, that's exclusively worldwide only with me. That means you only get this bonus through me. As well as other benefits, of course, like getting my exclusive trading signals or VIP 5. VIP 5 simply means you have VIP status at the exchange and pay lower futures maker and taker fees. This means you have lower trading fees and are cheaper than on Bitunix, BitGet, and Bybit. So if you're currently on any of those exchanges, no matter which one, switching to LEVEX definitely makes sense. Also, for everyone registered under my link, I give away, which is completely free by the way, I give away 100 USDT every day under my market update here, right? You just have to comment and give a thumbs up. On that note, my dear friends, feel free to leave a thumbs up and a comment for the algorithm. See you until then, bye.